Hi, class. I'm going to go over two of the problems from the in-class handouts. So we have a little bit more help on the homework that's due for Monday. So 224, I rearranged the handout a little bit here on my screen, but the content is all there from before. So 224, it's where we got a survey of 400 randomly selected homes in a large city with 30,000 homes. So the sample size, little n, is 400, population is 30,000, and 16 of the homes don't have a television. Now we want a 95% confidence interval for the proportion of the homes that don't have a television. So what proportion of the homes don't have a television? Well, what we have is kind of 16, successes out of the 400. And so we divide 16 by 400 to get the proportions. That's the first thing we need to do. So n is 400, and the number of successes is 16. And I'm going to make that red too, because it's an input. And so p hat, the proportion in our sample, is equal to the successes divided by the sample size. So that's 4%, and I'll change it to a percentage. Okay, so now we've got p hat. That's the first part of our three variables that we need to calculate here. The next thing we need to do is get the critical value z, or z star. And to do that, we have to find the confidence interval, and that's 95% confidence interval. So when we have you can only get 100%, and the confidence interval is the middle of the normal distribution. And if 95% is in the middle, then there's 5% split on the two ends, and so 2.5% in each tail of the probability distribution. So it's not that hard to do that in your head, but here is a formula that will give you the same result. So we start with the 95% confidence interval. And that's 95%. And then our probability of being in the, that actually should be a big P, of being in the left tail is going to be equal to 1 minus this, 1 minus this. That'll give us the 5%. And then we divide that in 2 to get the 2.5%. And we've got some rounding issues here. So there we go. So it's 2.5% probability in that left tail. And then to get the critical value z, we have to find out how many standard deviations is 2.5% away from the mean. And to do that, we use the norm dot inverse, the inverse normal distribution. That again. And to do the normal to use the norm dot inverse function, we use a probability, and then this is the z distribution, which always has a mean of 0 in the middle of it, and always has a standard deviation of 1, because that's so mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. And so I did something wrong there. E6 is 0.5. Mean of 0, standard deviation of 1. Oh, I know what I did, I bet. Let's try this again. It's as a percent, and I don't want that. This is not a percent. I don't know how that became a percent there. But we want it as, we want it as a number. There we go. So it's almost 2 standard deviations below average is where we get to have 2.5% probability being below that. And normally the textbooks use positive values for z-scores. So I'm just going to put a negative on that, so it'll change it to a positive value. Now it's going to the right. It's 1.96 standard deviations above the average. Okay, so we've got our z star, and we've got our p hat. We got p hat is the first thing we need to do, then the z star is the next thing, and then the last part of it is the standard error, which is the standard deviation of the sample proportion. The idea here is that, this time we got 4%, but, each time you take a sample, it's going to be sometimes a little bit more than 4%, sometimes a little bit less than 4%. What is going to be the average variation in the sample proportion? And that is called the standard error. And there's just this magic formula we have for that, which is here. It is the square root of p hat times 1 minus p hat over n. And so we'll do that. The square root of p hat times 1 minus p hat divided by n. And let me make sure I got all my parentheses right. So I got the inner one right, I got the numerator right, and then the black one is for the square root function. So that looks all good. And so our standard error is basically 1 percentage point is what that is, because it really is a percentage. And let me give you a few more. Yeah, so that's our standard error, that the standard deviation is about 1%. So now there are two ways to present this information here. One way is to say, what is the margin of error, which is this part here. So let's calculate that. Well, I'll write it out. There we go. And let me just expand this so there's space. Okay, so the margin of error is just the standard deviation of the sampling distribution times the standard error, the z-score, the critical value z-score. So the margin of error is almost 2%. So what we're saying here is that we think 4% of homes don't have a television, but it could be 2% more, 2 percentage points more. That could be 6%, or it could be 2 percentage points less, which would be about, so it could be about 6%, or it could be about 2%. Somewhere in there, we're 95% confident that it's in that area, in that realm. So the other way we can present it is by calculating the upper bound and the lower bound. And the upper bound is just going to be, you basically calculate this whole thing out for plus, so p hat plus the margin of error. So the upper bound is going to be p hat, oops, try that again, equals p hat times the, plus the margin of error. And wow, that is something else. That's a lot of, there we go, 6%. And let's expand our significant digits. And then the lower bound is basically the same thing, except you're subtracting. So I'm just going to copy that and I'll paste it in here. And I'm going to subtract this time. And so that's basically what I said, that what we think is that the answer to this question is going to be roughly in the order of 2% and 6%. That we're 95% sure that it's in this area, and that our best guess is that p hat is equal to 4%. And I've done a little bit of rounding here, like it's actually 5.92 and it's actually 2.08 for the upper and lower bounds. But these are different ways of presenting it. The other way of presenting it is that it is p hat is 4% plus or minus our margin of error, which is 1.92%. There we go. So that's how you do that. Now, when we do the next one, 226, it's going to be really easy because we've already got everything already on here that we need. So all we input is the n, the number of successes, the confidence interval. So these are the only three bits of data that we entered, and everything else is calculated off of that. So I'm just going to drag this whole thing over. And this is, and we have to change the numbers there. So this is number 226. And for 226, n is 80. And the number of successes is 20 of them have breakfast. So basically a quarter of the students sampled ate breakfast every day last week. But the thing is, we don't know, how much confidence do we have in that the true value is 25%. So, ooh, this is odd here. Why do we have 195%? This should be 95%. Because again, we're doing a 95% confidence interval. And then everything else is already just produced by the formulas. Because these red numbers are the only ones that everything else, all the calculations are based on. Okay, so p hat is 25%. And then it's 25% plus or minus this margin of error of 9.49%. And so that is D. So 25% plus or minus 9.5, if we round up a little bit. So D is the answer to that. So basically what we're saying here is that we think that about 25% of the students ate breakfast in the whole population of 1,000. And that, but we're not totally sure that our margin of error is basically 9.5%. And so it could be as high as 34.5%, or it could be as low as 15.5%, given our sample size. And that's it. That's the magic of statistics. Like this is work that people do in statistics all the time, is presenting this kind of data. And so you'll get a little practice with doing the calculations with some other problems on the homework. And I hope this helps. I'll go ahead and make the formulas visible here. But let me make this one visible too, but it's all the same thing, really. Okay, hope you have a good weekend. I was outside, my hair's a mess, so I just kept my cap on here. All right, take care, and we'll see you on Monday.